Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai, and let's continue our game of 9 R.I.P. Running on Nintendo Switch 2. I had a feeling you'd be here. Sayaka, what are you doing? I'm playing hooky. Well, I was looking for my friend. I heard your teacher say that you haven't been coming to class recently. Hey, I thought of something. Next year, let's pick the same electives so we'll end up in the same class. I opened my eyes after seeing the vision of Sayaka's past to find a concerned Senna staring down at me. Sorry, I guess I made you worry about me. I was glad to see the memories, but it would have been nice not to pass out every time I did. But this time it was Sayaka's memory. I think this gives me a better understanding of how all this involves her. Yeah, I'm fine. A low blood sugar. Happens all the time. Don't worry about it. Seina's condition was changing rapidly. His eyes wavered and he looked confused. Seina? Hmm? It's not the first time. Without thinking, I blurted out the words. The truth is, we've met before. Yesterday, and the day before that. And the day before that, too. He stared back at me, stunned, silent. Then finally... As he mumbled silently, I wondered if I should tell him the truth. But I wasn't sure if it was wise to confuse him anymore at this moment. That's right, my name. If I tell him my name, he might remember. Seina, listen to me. My name is... Hmm? Ah. Well, then if it really is love at first sight, you won't forget me. Was it because I said that to him? I should probably leave the rest to Seina at this point. He had to figure this out on his own, otherwise there was no point to it. Fortunately, he seemed to understand that he had forgotten something. All he had to do now was remember. Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait for you to call me by my name. You haven't forgotten me, right? Just because you can't remember doesn't mean you've forgotten. I spoke with a smile and he responded with an apologetic grin. Of course. Seina's perspective. Oh, okay. After seeing Misa off, I laid down on the grass alone. I thought about going back to the station to finish my shopping, but I was in no mood to do so anymore. Huh? I think I've been here before, thinking about that girl like this.
思い出せてきている
An elation spread through my heart, and yet, at the same time, I felt my chest tighten and my heart palpitate in a way that I'd never felt before. I don't remember this pain, and yet there was something familiar about the feeling, the sadness. What is this? Could it be I've forgotten something besides that girl? Misa. I parted ways with Sena and went on a walk by myself to think about Sayaka. The visions I saw today were unlike anything else I'd seen before. They weren't my memories, they were hers. But it was related to the accident. An unpleasant feeling spread through my chest. Sayaka said she's obsessed with me. In my memory, that's why she said she cast that spell, but that led me to think about what she was planning to do now. She said she wanted to save me. She's trying to make it up to me. She's only trying to apologize to me. She cared about me, and that's why she cast that spell. Besides, it was wrong to put all the blame on Sayaka. It was partly my fault, too. Thinking about Sayaka, my heart began to ache. Her face filled with tears, telling me how sorry she was for what she did. I had to stop her from whatever she was trying to do. She'd already apologized to me. That's why I had to stop her from whatever weird thing she was planning. I had no idea if her spell had any power, influence, or chance of success, but still. Having lived in this strange world, I knew how dangerous interfering with the affairs of spirits could be for the living. Sayaka must be at school right now. I hurried off to school. I wouldn't be able to talk to her, but at the very least I might be able to find out what she's up to. Just as I was about to start running, I saw a figure approaching from the other side of the road. Ah, Koyo. He seemed to have already spotted me and was heading straight for me.
セナ、どんな感じ
I was just with him. He didn't remember me, but it seems like he was aware that he'd forgotten me.
マジかよ。すごい。何か変化があればって思ってたけど、こんなに早く現れるとは思ってなかった。ありがとう、ミサ。
Of course. I'm really happy about it too. I'll be sure to visit him tomorrow and the next day too. I'll keep going until he remembers me. I spoke with a smile, but Koyo looked back at me with a frown.
あんただって成仏しなきゃだろう。だから何度もっていうのはなし。俺から頼み込んでおいて何言ってんだよって感じだと思うけど、俺はあんたにも成仏してほしい。
The look on his face was so serious. I felt as though there was nothing I could say in response. He was clearly worried I was losing focus. That's why I'm headed back to school. There's something there I need to check out.
それなら俺もついていく。手伝わせて。
It's alright. You don't have to worry about me.
俺が大丈夫じゃないの。ほら、行くぞ。
He began walking ahead of me, and I followed along behind him. We arrived at school, and it appeared the morning classes had just begun. My class was currently studying math, and I saw Sayaka feverishly scribbling notes.
気になっていたことって友達のことだったのか。
Yeah, she's in that seat over there. She said something about trying to save me.
あ、救うってどういう意味で
I don't know. That's why I'm worried. Koyo, seeming to understand what I was getting at, nodded silently. First things first, I thought it best to just keep an eye on what she's up to. Then, completely ignoring me, Koyo glided into the classroom and began looking over Sayaka's shoulder to read her notes.
ねえ、こっち来てみて。
I strode over to him and glanced at where he was pointing on Sayaka's notes. What? Her notebook wasn't filled with the notes on math. Instead, it was filled with all kinds of strange notes and information. The red letters in particular stood out. Grasp of the mirror, spirit board. I tried to take a closer look, but then...
井田、黒板にある問いに答えなさい。
はい。
Upon being called on by the teacher, Sayaka quickly closed her notebook. I wanted to take a closer look.
いや、今のでなんとなく分かった。
Seriously? You only looked at it for a second.
引きずり鏡とこっくりさんには取り消すように線が引かれてただろう。それって試してみたけどダメだったってことじゃない。
That makes sense. She was into the occult after all. I could chalk it up to Saya being Sayaka, but there's something I can't quite let go of. The spirit board is like a seance, right? I don't know much about the rumors of the boy in the mirror, but that's just that it's one of the school's 7 wonders. Oh, that's right. Maybe I could ask the spirit board or the boy in the mirror what she's planning.
あんた、怖がりのくせしてとんでもないこと考えるな。
It's the only way. It's the only way, right? We've got no choice.
なら頑張るしかないな。
Seeing the confident smile on his face, I felt a little reassured. On second thought, I'm glad Koyo came along with me today. Koyo was familiar with the rumors of the boy in the mirror, and he told me about them as we headed toward the mirror. Just as we arrived, I remembered. Come to think of it, yesterday, Sayaka had been in front of that mirror early in the morning.
鏡を見るためだけに閉まっている校門を乗り越えてきたわけではないでしょ。
早くに学校へ来たのは昨日うっかりしていて教科書を忘れて帰ってしまったんです。
Was she trying to do something with the mirror then? Then, in the classroom, when I thought she was studying diligently, she wasn't studying, she was just writing the results of what happened. Koyo was right. She'd already tried this one. That's why she crossed it out on her notes. I looked at the mirror in front of me and took a deep breath. Is anyone there? If so, please show yourself. Immediately, I heard a soft chuckle next to me, right in my ear.
悪い。でも声かけるより中に入ったらいいんじゃない？これが本当に怪談話の通りなら、鏡の中に幽霊がいるってことになる。なら幽霊同士だし、俺たちも入れるだろう。
Yeah, I guess you're right. Now I kind of feel embarrassed for shouting into the mirror like that. Yet, according to the rumor I heard from Koyo, if you place your hand on the mirror, you'd get pulled in. Well then, I'll go first. Then, just as I put my hand to the mirror, it stopped, as though I was touching a wall. I immediately turned to look at Koyo, who merely stared back at me. I can't get in. He seemed a bit flustered after speaking so confidently before.
いやいや、絶対にこの中にいるんだって。俺の霊感がいるって言ってるし。
Wait, you've never met this ghost before?
てか、俺たちが物に触れられることがまずおかしい。
I knew he was trying to change the topic, but he was right. That was the strange issue here.
それの中には確かに幽霊がいる。
Koyo and I jumped. Kuroha stood behind us, an unamused look on his face.
まったく。騒がしいと思えば何をやっているんだ。
Sorry, we weren't trying to be loud, but we need to talk to the ghost in the mirror.
どういう用事なのかは聞かないが、それに話しかけても無駄だぞ。引きこもっていて出てこないからな。それにどういう仕掛けか、鏡に入ることは叶わない。
Seriously? But there's something I really need to ask the ghost.
でも、いることはいるんでしょ。なあ、姿を見たことはあるからな。ちなみになんで姿を現したの？あれはいつだったか、鏡のそばにいた生徒たちがスマートフォンを操っていてな。その画面をこっそり鏡から盗み見ているような、そんな感じだった。
You mean like it's into smartphones?
さあな。大音量で音楽をかけていて、教師に怒られていたのを覚えている。
Maybe it likes music. Koyo, you've got a smartphone. Why don't you take it out for a minute? Koyo obediently took out his phone from inside his pocket. He waved it around in front of the mirror.
何も起きないけど。
Then maybe it likes the music? Hey, Koyo, sing a song. Koyo glared at me with icy eyes. Okay, fine. Got it. You're not a singer.
鏡の幽霊のことは諦めた方がいいだろ
And with that final word of advice, Kuroha walked away. Guess we've got no choice but to give up. I took one last glance at the mirror, but saw nothing there.
う。まだ音楽は試してないじゃん。
Okay, well, as ghosts, it's not like we can make music, right?
いや、ある。
Huh?
セナがいるだろ。あいつなら歌える。
With that, the two of us went off in search of Senna to bring him back to the mirror. It took a while to find him, and it was evening by the time we got back to the school.
うわー、学校懐かしいな。ここの鏡の前でよくダンスの練習してたな。
Senna, I didn't know you went to Naragamahama's High.
うん、そうだよ。紅葉も同じ。ね、紅葉。
Upon Senna's prodding, Koyo merely nodded. I knew Narimikohama was Senna's hometown, but I had no idea he went to this high school.
それで、僕は何をしたらいいの？
Well, we want you to look into that mirror and sing. Before I could finish speaking, Koyo tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to the mirror. Following his finger, I saw... There in the mirror stood a young boy. Not knowing that he, too, was a ghost, Senna's screams echoed through the halls. If I thought I was alive, I'd probably have the same reaction.
エスクラウンのセナさんがここにいるなんて。
Huh? He knows him? The young boy stared at Senna as though he was somebody that he deeply admired.
僕、響きって言って、あなたの大ファンなんです。
Senna, for his part, was completely unable to reply. He had fallen to the floor in total shock.
引きこもりって設定じゃなかった。
That's not important. Thanks to Senna, this is our chance. I took one step toward the mirror and started speaking to the boy. There's something I need to ask you. The boy's line of sight shifted from Senna to me. The brightness that had been in his eyes faded and was replaced with fear. Yesterday morning, a girl, a student, she came here, didn't she? She is a little shorter than me, brown hair down to the shoulders. The boy's gaze wandered and he stayed silent. Please, I want to know what she said to you. I'm begging you. Please tell me. The boy repeatedly opened and closed his mouth and began to step away from the mirror. Wait.
響くんって言ったよね。
At Senna's voice, the boy stopped.
今、彼女が言ったことで何か知っているなら教えてほしい。
Thank you, Senna. I thanked him from the bottom of my heart and then heard a voice from the mirror.
確かに来ました。多分。あなたの言う女の子なのかわからないんですけど。
引きずり鏡様、あなたはこの世ならざる世界に人を引きずり込むと聞きました。それが本当ならお願いします。どうか私をあの世に導いて。今もさまよっているはずの私の親友に会わせてください。
そう僕に懇願してきたんです。でもすぐに先生に見つかって。
Everything he told us seemed to match up with the scene I saw unfold yesterday. That was most likely Sayaka. Sayaka's the only one who would think to do something like that.
あんたに会うためにあの世に行きたいって。
Koyo was about to say something else, but quickly closed his mouth.
僕の鏡はあの世なんかに繋がっていないです。だから引きずり込んでなんかないです。
Hibiki spoke with such a nervous force, I smiled to reassure him. You don't seem like the type of person to do that, Hibiki. Don't worry.
ありがとう。
よくわからないけど、 聞きたいことは聞けたのかな？
Yes, I did. Thank you. Though I still don't know exactly what psych I was planning. There's only one thing left to try, the spirit board. His loud voice surprised me, and he seemed quite taken aback.
こっくりさんはやったらダメです。いたずらに呼んでいいものじゃないから。
それ、やったことあるやつの言葉？
Hibiki's body trembled in response.
こらこうよ。僕のファンを怖がらせないでよ。
ファン。
Hibiki looked so happy, as though he'd never been scared in the first place. Sena flashed Hibiki a winning smile, even if he was still sitting on the floor.
こっくりさんはとっても優しいあやかしです。だからあまり迷惑になることはしてほしくないんです。
Had something happened between them? Either way, he didn't look ready to tell us. I won't be causing any trouble. The truth is, I need information about a dear friend of mine.
友達ですか？さっきの女子生徒のことですか？
That's right. She's in trouble, and I want to stop her from doing something dangerous. Hibiki looked around, seemingly lost, before pulling something from his uniform pocket. Then he gently reached his hand outside the mirror and placed it on the ground.
それはこっくりさんを呼び出す道具です。あなたを信じて貸します。
Oh, thank you so much. As I shouted excitedly, Hibiki's cheeks blushed.
これから儀式の方法を教えるので、しっかり覚えてください。
After that, he taught me how to summon the spirit of the board, and I committed the whole thing to memory. Then, his eyes sparkling like before, he shook his hands with Senna and disappeared back into the other side of the mirror. I said goodbye to Koyo and Senna after that and headed straight for the nurse's office. I wanted to use a spirit board right away, but was told evening was the best time to do it. So the time of day has something to do with it. I decided to spend the time chatting with Yui in the nurse's office. It doesn't look like she's here. It was the first time I hadn't been able to find her here. Yesterday, she mentioned that she wanted to gather the courage to head outside. She seemed to be working very hard on herself recently. I took the career path survey out of my pocket and looked it over. I still can't remember if something or someone pushed me that day. I let out a loud sigh. I didn't feel like waiting here by myself. Maybe I should go out for a bit. Maybe I'll bump into someone. Besides, some fresh air could do me some good. Fresh air for a ghost. Let's go talk to Sena. I decided to visit Tsukumo Shrine, where I found Sena praying. Evening, Sena. Are you praying?
あ、君だったんだ。こんばんは。うん。君のことを思い出しますようにって神様にお願いしてたんだ。
Sena.
他力本願って怒られるよね。自分でも情けないなって思う。
I'm just happy that you wanted to remember me.
そう言ってくれる君が僕にとってどんな存在なのか早く知りたくて仕方ないよ。まあ大切な存在なんじゃないかなって予想してるんだけどね。
His words made my heart jump. It's like yesterday when he fell in love with me at first sight. Well, how about we sit and talk for a bit?
うん。君と話したいなって僕も思ってたんだ。
Thank you. In that case, do hobbies? Sena, what do you like to do for fun?
趣味か。仕事してる時が楽しくて、それ以外ってあまりないんだよね。
Well, then, what do you do on your days off?
友達に会ったり、家のことをしたり、今みたいに地元に帰ってきたりかな。僕さ、作詞と作曲もさせてもらっていて、だからお休みの日も作業してることがほとんどなんだよね。
Wow, you really are talented. You're amazing, Senna.
新鮮な反応かも。君に言われるとすごい人になった気分。でも僕にとってはそれがやりたいことだから、すごいとかそういう感覚ないんだよね。
Next time I want to hear a song you wrote, Senna. Seeing as we were both ghosts, I realized that would be pretty hard, but I did truly want to hear him sing an original song.
うわー、すっごく嬉しいよ。聞いたら感想をちょうだいね。
Sure thing. After that, we continued to talk about Senna's work for some time. After we finished talking, I finally gathered the courage to visit my house. I hadn't totally prepared myself to go inside. However, I wondered how my mom and sister are holding up. When I had seen my sister yesterday with Sayaka, she seemed to be doing all right, which left me very relieved. But, Mom. Last time I spoke to my mom, we fought about what I was going to do with my life. I'm sorry I said I didn't want to go to Saigin. Even if I was alive, I didn't know if I could have done exactly what my mom wanted. My future and my career didn't matter anymore, but my heart still ached as I thought about them. If I was still alive, what would I have done? Would I really have convinced my mom to let me follow my own path? Even now, I had no idea what I wanted to do. This is stupid. I don't have to think about this kind of thing anymore. I tried to get that out of my mind. Then,
やっぱりそうだ遠くから見つけてあなたかなって思ったんだ
no, it's a dangerous ghost. Reika. It was the third time I'd met her. My heart filled with a mixture of fear and dread.
あなたを探していたの話したいことがあって
As she took one step towards me, I instinctively took one step back.
ねえどうして逃げるの後ろめたいことがあるからよね夜空のことで
I figured something must have happened. At first, I didn't know who she meant, but I soon figured it out. She was talking about Koyo. Oh, do you mean Koyo?
こうよさんねはあ分かってないんだな夜空はね麗華の彼氏なの今サプライズを計画しているの
Huh? Koyo and Reika are together? I had no idea. Koyo and I had never really talked about our romantic lives before, and I had no idea the two of them were a couple.
でもね夜空を見に行くたびにミサちゃんがそばにいるからすっごくイライラしてたまらない
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
いいの知らなかったなら仕方ないもんでもこれでわかったよね
I nodded repeatedly, and Reika stopped walking towards me.
麗華のこと夜空に言わないでねサプライズが台無しになっちゃう
So she killed Koyo? Got it. I won't say a word, I promise. Reika smiled and let out a high-pitched giggle before disappearing into the night. I had no idea Reika and Koyo were a couple. Reika? I continued to walk as I thought about what had happened, eventually ending up at the park. That incident with Reika before had been quite frightening. I grew quite worried about how I would react the next time I saw Koyo.
あ、また会ったね。
I looked around, searching for the source of the voice that called out to me. Where?
こっち、下。
A little further down the road, I spotted Koyo and Sina laying down on the grass. Ah, there's Koyo. What are you guys doing down there? Sina stood up and began walking toward me, before tightly gripping my hand in his.
君も一緒に星を見ようよ。
Ah? Sina quickly pulled my arm to where the two of them had been laying. Ah, I'm laying right next to Koyo. I prayed that Reika was nowhere nearby to watch this scene unfold. In order to avoid any confusion, I scooted over towards Sina.
何？俺のそばが嫌なわけ？
No, that's not it. Absolutely not.
変な口調。怪しい。 もう紅葉ったら紅葉のことが嫌なわけじゃないよ。
Yes, yes, that's exactly right.
彼女は僕のそばに来たくて、だから僕の方に寄ってきたんだよ。
Right, right. Oh, right, right. Wait, what?
セナがタイプなんだ。
No, no, it's not like that.
ってことはセナの勘違いか。セナお疲れ。でもこれからだからね。
What are they?
ほら、とりあえずさ、君も横になって星空鑑賞会しよう。
But I still had my reservations, but I knew any more protests would make them even more suspicious. Maybe it won't bother Reika if Senna's here too. I hope that would be the case and lay down on the grass between the two of them.
あ、今流れたよ。
Ah, I missed it.
本当に流れた？全然見えなかったけど。
I couldn't help but wonder when the last time I looked up at the night sky like this was. At the very least, I hadn't done it since becoming a high school student.
僕と紅葉は子供の時からこうやって星空を眺めていたんだ。お互い家を抜け出して待ち合わせは決まってこの芝生広場。学校のこと、テレビや漫画の話、それから将来の夢を話したりしてさ。セナばっかり話してたよな。俺は大体聞き役。そうだったね。でも紅葉、聞いてると思ったら寝ちゃってた時もあったじゃない。子守歌かと思って。もう意地悪だな。
As I listened to the two of them, I tried to imagine them as kids. They must have enjoyed each other's company the same then as they do now. Oh, another shooting star.
見た見た。今のは俺にも見えた。
Under the twinkling night sky, we took turns pointing out shooting stars and making wishes. I wish the three of us will someday find peace. I wished it from the bottom of my heart. Chapter 5, Urban Legends. The next morning, I waited for Sayaka to arrive at school.
紅葉を待っているのか。
I jumped and saw Kuraha was next to me. Ah, Kuraha, good morning. After hearing my greeting, Kuraha raised an eyebrow and looked at me, surprised.
朝の挨拶をされるのはいつぶりだろうか。
Do other ghosts not greet each other?
まあ、挨拶もなしに話し始めてしまうからな。紅葉もそういう感じだ。
I could see that. But actually, I'm just waiting for my friend. I wanted to make sure she's okay.
そうか。昨日、引きずり鏡の者には会えたのか。
Yes, with the help of a friend of mine, I was able to meet him.
出会った頃から感じていたが、お前は不思議な魅力を持っているらしい。人を引きつける力があるように思う。
That's the first time anyone's ever told me that. It's kind of embarrassing. What makes you say that?
紅葉だけではなく、この学校にいる幽霊さえもお前は変えていっている。何十年も引きこもりだった幽霊を2名表に出したのだからな。
I guess that means Hibiki and...
いつまでも閉じこもっていられない。他の幽霊と接することが苦手だったけれど、そろそろ外へ出ないとね。
Ah, does that mean he met Yui too?
これでここも少しは変わるだろう。俺の状況も変わっていく。何かあれば力になろう。いつでも声をかけてくれ。
Ah, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
その笑顔が見たかった。
With that, he left and began walking down the hall. Help, huh? Kuraha, Yui, and Hibiki. I didn't know everything there was to know about the ghosts of the school, and yet, While some of the rumors about them were true, none of them seemed nearly as scary as the rumors about them. I'm glad I got to meet them.
キラさん、おはよう。おはよう。
Sayaka. I was relieved to see her at school, but she looked exhausted. Dark circles hung under her eyes. Sayaka, I'm begging you, please stop with all this. I knew my voice couldn't reach her, and it was made all the more frustrating by the fact that I was standing next to her. Still, I'm glad she's at least coming to school. Now that I was sure Sayaka was okay, I decided to try and find Sena. I hope he remembers me. He usually forgot everything when the day was over, so I wasn't expecting much. Okay, well, why don't we stop it there? This is meowmurai. You've been watching 9 R.I.P. running on Nintendo Switch 2. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.